Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Dr. Floyd Jr. Here in Carolina Unified again with real issues, terrible issues that's going on here in our community. This is the mother, Tate Ingram, who will be speaking as well. We have a situation that is taking place here in our community dealing with call her a baby or a young lady who was white descendant, put black on her face, which caused a lot of chaos and made a lot of folk upset. Then from there, we had the latest situation, which we had a school board trustee from the Bullard area who went into a cheerleading practice and made our babies cry, intimidated them, traumatized them. And for the life of me, grabbed his arm and grabbed his backpack. And it got into a tussle and the backpack fell. And when I kept looking at the video, then the trustee tried to step on the backpack as the young man tried to pull the backpack and then the young man ran. Let me say this to the Bullard community, as well as the school board here. Better do something tomorrow with this trustee. It's very embarrassing, again, that we have to deal with a white man going on a campus with young ladies there without their parents being present there. And he comes in and uses his dominancy and his white privilege to come in and think that he's law and order. I'm a former trustee from the West Federal School District. Board members make policy. Superintendent runs the day-to-day operation. So this man who is out of control, this school board trustee who feels that he don't have to be accountable to nobody, and this school board trustee from the Bullard area feels that he's God. He feels that he's God. And he feels that he's God because he's white. Now, if this would have been a black man who walked on the Bullard campus and grabbed a white kid by the arm, grabbed the white kid backpack and stepped on it, trust me, law enforcement would have been called and he would have been arrested. Step two, if a black man would have went into this cheerleading practice, which the door was locked, so that means somebody had a key to open it to let him in. But if this was a black man who went on the Bullard campus in a white community and made white children cry and threaten them and telling them that, oh, I will make sure that you do not go to camp if you don't stop talking about this black face. Well, first of all, there's a constitution that says you have freedom of speech. So who is he to tell anybody what to say, when to say, and how to say? So I think that we're going to set the record straight here, and the school board tomorrow better set the record straight and better put some strong sanctions on this guy here. Now, we know that we can't recall him, only his district can recall him. We understand that. But I'm going to say this, if any school board member in this community go on another campus and take their paws and touch our children, you don't have to worry about the police. You don't have to worry about DI. You don't have to worry about MIMS. You got to worry about a nation coming into Fresno to set law and order here. This mother is a taxpayer. She's a responsible mom. She has been excluded since day one. This has been going on for like 8-7 months now. This district here has not called her one time. The superintendent, the chief of staff, nobody has called this mother here. And she's a responsible woman. And she wants to be heard. And so that's why we're here today. To let the world know, once again, in Mississippi, Fresno, injustice has happened again. And so we're not going to play with this. We're not going to play with no adults tampering with our babies. Those are our babies. I don't care what nationality they are. They're our babies and they're our future. And no one has the right to go on a campus, especially a board member who's supposed to be dealing with policy. And then I read on in the article that he said he had a conversation with the superintendent, and he said, well, somebody needs to go out here and straighten this out and let these kids know that they need to stop talking. So I don't know if the superintendent is involved in this. He's going to have to give an account too. Even though I don't live in a Bullard area, but I pay taxes here. And I have a right to speak, especially when babies are being misused, harmed, traumatized, bullied in this community. And it's not going to be put up with anymore. So, school board here that I call my elected representative, Keisha Thompson, who has not called me back for some reason, she's going to be held accountable too. Because no one wants to hear the babies. All the adults are talking. No one have heard the babies talk. What do they want? There's been no psychological counseling for the parents, for the mothers, nothing. So we're not going to sweep this under the rug. We're not going to sweep this under the rug like it's no big thing, because it is a big thing. It is a big issue. People are hurting now. People are upset now. And I'm doing when it is upset, because I deal with racism every day as a black man. I'm 49 years old, and I deal with it 24 hours a day, 365 days out the year, 7 days a week. That's what we deal with as black and brown people in this community. And so this board better understand we better see some teeth tomorrow at this board meeting. So this mother here, voice is going to be heard today, not just in Fresno, but all over the world, that her voice is going to be heard. And I'm glad she brought it to me, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for no one. We have the Brown Berets and Brother Ralphie here. He's in the trenches. He's fighting for justice in this community. All of us are. And here it is, 2019. We're dealing with stuff back in happened in the 1900s. It just makes no sense. Yeah.
You know, all I can say is I was in Cuba in July a couple weeks ago, and this incident was brought to my attention by people from throughout the country. My name is Rafael Aviti. I'm a high school teacher, by the way. I'm an educator. I'm on vacation right now. But this incident, which I'm familiar with, and this trustee, which I too am familiar with, and who I pay taxes to, the city, it's an embarrassment, because we're dealing at a time in an atmosphere where people are telling people like me and you to go back to where we came from, and people justify that as okay. So I'm not surprised that this is happening today in Fresno. This has been going on. What's embarrassing and what's shocking as an educator is that this mother was excluded. There's no reason she should be excluded. Any educator will tell you, if something is happening, parents need to be informed. And to be kept in the dark and excluded the way she has been, it's an insult to parents, to taxpayers, and to people of color who got to deal with, like Reverend Floyd said, the discrimination every day. That's all I have to say. I do want you to say your mind.
So I come here today because I'm feeling a lot of emotions. When I found out that the board of trustees had actually went to their practice, we're not even allowed to go to the practice. It's a closed door policy. And so to find out from someone in the community to share the video with me, it was very disturbing. To find out that they had a meeting the next day with the parents and I was excluded is very disturbing. So I'm here because I support my daughter, and I have from day one, but it's continuing. You know, the behavior is unacceptable. to the point where my daughter, she's uncomfortable. You know, from day one, the two girls, they sent the video privately to my daughter, and someone else, another girl of color, took a picture and went to her mother and exposed it, and the press came out. So now here I sit, standing here. We went to another meeting, and we had a justice and peace conversation with mothers and daughters. I met with the vice principal because the vice principal interrogated my daughter, had her write a statement, just allegations, and it was just not a very comfortable feeling for me. And so I stand here today, it's going to stop, and I'm not accepting it, and justice needs to be served, and I will be heard, and so will my child.
Questions?
Who's your daughter?
Well, she is a minor, so I'm not really sure.
No, pero she was the person who received the picture. Can you tell me something more about her?
My daughter is a minor. She's on the team. Her name is Kayla, and she received the picture from the two girls, the ones who actually did the video. And it was in confidence. However, when she opened the video up, another fellow cheerleader snapped the picture and went forward. So my daughter is very shy and unfamiliar with topics of this nature.
Have your daughter received some help, some concerts?
No, she's not really wanting to talk about it, very uncomfortable. There was some threats made by the two girls at one point that you leaked the video, and she did. You know, but they knew they privately had sent it to her. And so then that was an issue. Then we get in here to another issue where the vice principal is no longer there, and she questioned my daughter, and she integrated. She had to write a statement. She was trying to make, I think, the Michael Jackson video be a white face, as well as the two girls. So it's been ongoing. I've just been in the background, just being choosing my battle and just seeing how the district is going to handle. So then when the trustee went up there, you know, enough. Now I'm coming forward, and it needs to stop.
When was the meeting that you were invited?
Apparently, after the board of trustee came, the next day they called a parent meeting. The director of the cheer squad, I think, is new. I wasn't given a call. I wasn't sent an email nor a text. So that's
Can you repeat? Sorry, because
disrespectful.
the guy don't-
I wasn't sent any information about a meeting being held for parents because I wouldn't be in there. And so to have to hear this from someone in the community and other people who are not even a parent is very disturbing to me. It's disappointing, and I'm really having real thoughts about, is this the right fit for my daughter and men on the team?
Do you know what was the topic of the meeting?
Discussing restraining orders, from my understanding. So he does not show because the mayor is there.
And did you ask why you weren't invited?
I don't have a go-to person to contact. So that's why I came up here Monday to see what was going on. So I was then addressed by the chief of staff. What is it that you want?
So what you want? So what are you asking for the president?
There's a lot of things. I'll just say a few, and I'm not going to put everything on the table, but definitely the justice definitely informed at all times of something that's occurring on the campus with my child in the presence of other adults. How is this getting resolved? What is going to be the next step? And we did this 7 weeks or 8 weeks ago, having these conversations, and I really thought they was wrapping this up and coming to a conclusion. So I would like to be on that committee when they decide to do some cultural awareness. And again, I personally have a article on white privileges written by a white woman educator when she was discussing how she was treated differently from white men. So when it comes to white privileges, we are aware that that exists every day. But again, as people of color, we have to choose and make our decisions when we want to act on something. So when this board of trustees went up there, it's now I'm involved. Now you're messing with my been messing with a child, but you're going there making threats, and I'm not okay with it.
I think what's important is that we have to understand that this is a double standard. Because if a child make a threat in this school district, the child is handled, disciplined, expelled, depending on what the threat was. So now we're setting a precedence that school board members can go on a campus and make threats to children who are under the age 18, and it's okay. And it's okay. That's why I asked for education policies from the state of California. What is board conduct? How do you act? Because if my son would have grabbed someone's backpack and pulled it and yanked it, and it fell on the ground and he stepped on it, trust me, he would have been expelled. Or went to jail. Or an assault. So we're not taking this lightly anymore. Okay? And that's why I'm letting the Bullard community know we have no problem going up north. Trust me, we don't. You mess with our children that we mothers carry for 9 months in their stomach, and you want to treat them like they're a piece of doormat or like they're some second-class citizen, it's not going to be tolerated. So the Bullard community better wake up, as well as the school board here. Board meeting tomorrow. Because it's important that you be here, that they know that this is not an isolated situation. This could happen to anybody. And so we're going to let the world know that get involved in your children's education. Go to school board meetings, go to the school. But when I hear that this mother can't even go to her daughter's cheer practice, this is not San Quentin. This is not Wasco. This is not a prison. This is not a jail. This is a public place where we pay taxes. You mean to tell me she can't go see her daughter when she wants to? So that's another issue we're going to be talking about. She should have access to her daughter 24/7.